there, I'm the book lady. Do you know what it means to worry? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today, worrying. On the Book Lady, I bring you 2 books and we read them and then we talk about them. It's just, we have so much fun here on the Book Lady. So, here are my 2 books for you today. Don't worry. I brought you 2 good books. One is Way Past Worried. It's by Hallee Adelman. And it's a great book, and I think many of you will really enjoy this and relate to this because so many of us worry. Do you know what worry means? It means things are going on in your brain and your heart might be beating, and your hands, and you're just worried. No, we're gonna find out how to not worry so much, okay? That's Way Past Worried. And then A Bed of Stars. You think, well, that doesn't sound like anything to worry about. But at the very beginning of this book by Jessica Love, this young man is a little bit worried when he goes to bed at night. He's worried. Do you get worried when you go to bed? Do you get worried thinking about school? Do you get worried when you get invited to a birthday party? Oh, I won't know anyone. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh. No, we're not going to worry. We're going to have fun here on the Book Lady. So why don't we start out with Way Past Worried. My brother, Bax, wasn't going to Juan's superhero birthday party with me. I felt a little worried. How could I go without my sidekick? He was going to go to the party by himself. Dad said, "You'll be okay. Take 3 very deep breaths and get dressed." I tugged on my favorite costume. Oh, it looked too small. Oh, would everyone laugh? Oh, now I was really worried. I headed toward Juan's. I was late. Oh, who else would be there? Would Juan hang out with me? Would I feel left out? Oh, I felt way past worried with my heart thumping and my mind racing. Oh, my worry was growing. Oh. Ruff, ruff. Pickles, that's the dog, knocked me down with his muddy paws. Oh, now my costume looked even worse. Ring, ring. Kaya and Hooper scootered right past me. Why didn't they stop? It's party time, they cheered. What if it was the worst party ever? Ugh, I'd walk in late and no one would talk to me. Or else someone would talk to me, but I wouldn't know what to say. Or else everyone would laugh at my costume. Oh. When I got to the gate, I saw everyone's costumes looked better than mine. They were already playing without me. Of course they were. He wasn't there yet. I didn't feel like a superhero. I wanted to Well, I wanted to go home. But just like Dad said, I took 3 very deep breaths. Oh, my heart pounded. Thump, 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 thump. But I inched forward until, oh, everyone was laughing. I knew they weren't laughing at me, but it felt like they were. I ran off. I didn't know what else to do. I heard Juan ask, "Where's Brock?" I wanted to call out, "I'm right here, Juan." But my worry was in the way. And my words, they just wouldn't come out. I heard a sound up in the tree. I looked and I saw a girl. I heard her take 3 very deep breaths. I asked, "Are you worried too?" "Well, I'm Brock." "I'm Nellie." "So, why are you worried?" "Well, I just moved here. I don't know anyone." "I'll sit with you." And Nellie looked like she felt a little better. I said, "I'll tell you about my friends. Juan's funny. Jin's nice. And Skitter makes the best costumes." "Well, I like yours." "Thanks. I like yours too." "You know," Nellie said, "I don't feel so worried up here." "Yeah, but we can't stay up here forever," I said. I looked at Nellie. I wanted her to meet my friends. And I wanted to say happy birthday to Juan and eat some cake. So I asked, "Do you like cake, Nellie?" "Yeah, I love it." We were still worried, but not like before. It helped that we'd talked about being worried. I said, "Let's be brave." "Like superheroes?" Nellie said. "Yeah, like superheroes. And we can always help each other if we feel more worried again, right?" "Right." I could feel my mind calming, and my worry was shrinking. That means it's getting smaller. On the count of 3, let's swoop in, I told Nellie. "Okay." 1, 2, 3. Oh, and look. And we joined the party. Oh, and it was fun. Do they look like they're having fun? Oh, yeah. It's because they made their worries so much smaller. Best of all, we weren't worried. And there you go. He was so worried. Brock was. I mean, he was worried about his costume. Oh, it's too small. The kids won't like it. Have you ever felt like that? I think we all have. But the important part is, there's a line right here. And don't you think it's funny that he and Nellie both, I think, had been told by their parents, just take 3 deep breaths. And where's that line that I liked? We were still worried, but not like before. It helped that we'd talked about being worried. And lots of times, if you do talk to someone, I mean, you can talk to your mom or dad. You could talk to your friend. Maybe you have a brother or sister and tell them, oh, I'm worried. My heart's going. And when you start talking about it, all of a sudden that great big worry gets much smaller. And then it's out of the way and you can get on with your day. Most worries, we make them big. And most worries are really very small. So I thought you would enjoy that book. Now I have another good one for you. We'll come back and talk a little more about this. This is by Jessica Love, and it's called A Bed of Stars. It takes place in the desert. And they use desert colors. I mean, even look at this cover page. It's desert sunrise or desert sunset. It's a beautiful mixture of sort of orange and pink, and yeah, it's a pretty color. Okay, now this first line is very important. It used to be, when it was time for bed, I would imagine the whole universe stretching on endlessly forever. The bigger it got, the smaller I felt. I was too worried to fall asleep. Okay, now we're on the next day. One morning at breakfast, my dad says, "Hey, we're going camping, you and me." "Where?" "The desert." "Why?" Dad said, "To shake hands with the universe." We have an old truck named Darlin'. Isn't that a cute name for a truck? And we pack her up with everything we'll need. The most important thing about packing is to put the big stuff in first, and then you can squeeze the small stuff in around it. We drive out of the city, which smells like rubber and French fries, and listen to Dolly Parton sing. As we climb up into the mountains, the smell changes to sweet and smoky. "Ah, this is my best smell," I said. "Mine too," Dad says. We drive over a mountain covered in charred black trees and also a lot of flowers. Dad tells me all their names and what they're useful for. And here's a page with some mountain flowers. Manzanita. Its wood is excellent for carving into spoons. I didn't know that. There's one flower called the sticky monkey flower. and white sage. Ceanothus, it has seeds, and it germinates after forest fires, and its flowers smell like, boiling honey. We stop at our favorite junkyard to see if there are any new parts for Darlin', and so Dad can shoot the breeze with Jody. Shooting the breeze is when adults have a boring conversation. I climb a mountain, a tire mountain. Look at him on that tire mountain. Yeah? Does that look like fun? And draw a picture of Jody's dog who doesn't do anything except sleep. When it's time to go, we drive away listening to the blues. This song is lonesome, I said to Dad, but in a nice way. Dad smiles and squeezes me closer. Finally, Dad brings Darlin' to a stop and says, "We're here." "We're where?" "We're all alone." "Oh, not quite. The ground is covered in tiny tracks. Dad says they're the footprints of all the beetles who come out in the morning to drink the dew. The dew is the water that is on things in the morning. Might be on your grass or on some of your plants. These little beetles come out to drink that. The first thing to do, Dad says, is jump in the sand dunes. We lie back in the sand and name all the birds we can see. Dad says if he could be any bird, he'd be a crow because they're smart and can use tools. If I were a bird, I'd be a swallow because they can fly the hardest patterns. Woo, 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 woo. And here are some pictures of birds you might find in the desert. You have your turkey vulture, which is huge, a hawk, a crow, and the cliff swallow. The next thing to do is set up and build a fire. Number 1, gather fuel. Now, fuel is what keeps the fire burning. On the desert, that's going to be little pieces of wood. Number 2, arrange some rocks. Number 3, light your sticks. Light the fuel. 4, blow on it. Not too hard. 5, sit around the fire and sing all the songs you know. Doesn't that sound like fun? When the sun starts to set, we lie on Darlin' and watch the colors change. If there's a sunset, I say, you have to stop and watch. We each pick a spot in the sunset to live. They are right next to each other. Oh, that looks like so much fun. Then it's time to go to sleep. This is the part I'm scared of. I said, how big the universe is and how it goes on forever and ever. After a minute, Dad says, "Do you know what stars are made of?" "What?" "Energy. Same as you. Same as the beetles and crows and coyotes. We're all friends and family. Maybe if you learned their names, they wouldn't feel so much like strangers." So we snuggle up all cozy and we name all the stars we can see. We name some of them after folks we met today. Jody's dog star, the coyote cluster, and the beetle nebula. I name one after me too. It's not that I feel bigger or the universe feels smaller. It's more like I know we're all made of the same stuff, but in different bodies. I fall asleep. When we wake up in the morning, the sun is just tipping over the tops of the mountains. The first thing to do, I say to Dad, is to drink hot chocolate in bed. So we do. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, we see that the desert has bloomed. We say, hello, Ocotillo and Globomalo and Agave. See, they're cactuses and they make beautiful flowers. It's a long drive home, so we pack everything up, pour water on our fire pit to make sure it's out, and check twice that we haven't left anything behind. Just footprints, Dad says. Like the Beatles, I say. As we drive back up into the mountains, Dad asks me to name all the new friends I've met, and I do. Beetles, cacti. Cacti is a cactus, but more than one. If you have one cactus, but you have two cacti. Coyotes, stars. And then we're back home. Mom is there with the baby, and I'm happy to see them. I have so many things to tell you, I say to the baby. Well, we've got something for you too, Mom says. Covering my walls and ceiling are a million stars. Mom spent all day putting them up while we were gone. Whoa! It's like the whole universe is in my little bedroom. That night, alone in the dark, I name all the stars. Mouse star, pine tree constellation, sand dune galaxy, darling nebula. I fall asleep inside my house with my mom and dad and the baby nearby. And above me and below me and all around me are my friends and family. And I'm at home in the universe. I think this is a beautiful story, a beautiful book. This little guy was a little nervous at night. And I think his father knew it. Well, his mother and father, they knew that he had trouble falling asleep. So his father decided to take him to the desert. And they slept in Darlin, the truck. And I think this is a wonderful picture. Look at them. They've got their pillows and a blanket. But all those stars. And you know, when you're in the desert, you really see a lot of stars. Oh yeah, like millions of them. But does he look nervous? Does he look worried? Not at all. He looks very serene and happy. He's with his father in the truck. Here's another, they're sleeping. And do you see how you have different stars, and if you connect them, if you did connect the dots, you get these constellations. A constellation is a group of stars, see, that you can connect, but you have to connect them in your head with your eyes. You don't use a pencil. But I think it's a beautiful story, and then I love that they have hot chocolate in bed. And do you see the beautiful flower on the cactus? Yeah, cactus, you know, we think the desert, they don't get rain, and you don't think of it as being beautiful colors, but it's beautiful colors. And there are flowers. There are all kinds of animals who want to live there. That's where they live. So I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did. I think it was about a little boy who had some worries. He was worried about sleeping at night, closing his eyes and sleeping. Are you ever a little bit afraid at night? There's really nothing to be afraid of, but a lot of us, when we were younger, I used to think there was something like an alligator under my bed. I didn't even want to let my hand fall over. I keep in like that. So, yes, we can worry. But what did we learn? We don't have to worry. His costume was just fine. And he not only saw all his old friends, he met a new friend. And she was worried too. But when they talked about it, all their worries went away. Now, I want you to not worry, but go to the library. You know how the book lady loves the library. It's one of my favorite places to go. And I like to just sit there and pull out books and decide which one I want to bring to you. And that we have fun. We just read our 2 books and talk about them, right? Oh, I hope you will come back. And remember, you can watch the book lady on YouTube, and you type in the book lady, and all these many books, these are just some of them that are behind me, all the books we've read are there for you to enjoy. That's what we do here at the Book Lady. We just read wonderful books, look at wonderful illustrations. Now, those of you who have watched the Book Lady for a while know that's the grown-up word for what? Pictures. We talk about the pictures and the stories and the characters. Oh, I hope you'll come back, and until next time, I'm the Book Lady. Bye-bye.